this transition because you brought it up earlier, and see, and this is why you're very unique. You're very open about your past and what you've been through. You mentioned when you got your breast done, and during that stream, Logic questioned you about did you have it in front of your muscles or behind your muscles, and I never knew that was a thing. So during that time, it was best for me to sit down and listen. So I wanted you to take a moment to explain to people the differences and how yours look more natural than other people. Because trust me, unless you would have told me, I would never guess that you had surgery. And
So
well,
the thing is,
actually, real quick, I'm sorry. Start from the beginning. What led you to get surgery?
okay, yeah. So my boobs were always perfect, right? When I was little, I had none. When I was a teenager, I still like had little knots. But as an adult, my boobs were like top notch, right? I got pregnant with my daughter, and they became the boobs of my dreams. They look like porn star boobs, right?
It
They were
happens.
full, they were perfect. I loved them. I couldn't breastfeed her, so they stayed perfect after her. Like, I still loved my boobs. But then I had my son a year later, and he destroyed them. Like, there was nothing left in them. They were nothing. They were just like skin. It was just skin. It was nothing there. It was like not even fatty tissue. It was nothing. And I was nothing. I was like really skinny also. So when I stopped breastfeeding him finally after a year or so, my boobs were deflated and I hated them. And I was going through postpartum and I was not having it. I was like, I'm not finna look in the mirror every day hating myself because I decided to feed my baby. I'm not doing that. So
Right.
then I was like, what am I going to do? And then I was starting to look up the price for everything. It was only $4,500. So I was like, okay, what can I do to make money fast? OnlyFans, that's like in the beginning too. So it was like before everybody started like playing the Jocelyn game and like Bella Thorning people. Like when she did that, that was like way like past when I was there. Like I was way done by the time she had done that. But I did the same concept, and even though I didn't have as large of a reach, it helped me get that $4,500 like that. So I was like, okay, I got the money. Okay, I'm gonna get it. So it was during COVID time. I went and got them, and I got it underneath the tissue because I didn't have any fat or anything there. So I needed the implant to be behind the muscle. And when you're doing push-ups and things like that, like I'm in the military, so when you're doing push-ups and things like that, it's better for it to be under the muscle than for it to be on top of the muscle. So it can like keep it just makes it easier to do the push-up, because any type of foreign object in your body, like you can feel it. I can't feel mine. Like I know like my boobs feel like boobs, right? But it doesn't feel like there's a foreign object in there. It just feels like I have boobs now, and I know I didn't have boobs before I went in there to the table situation.
And I wanted to ask, so what you have right now prior to your son, can you tell the difference, or can you feel the difference?
No, they're perfect. This is how they were when I had my son. Oh, before my son, they were a little bit smaller than this. They were C's. These are D's. So they're full D's. I'm still at 34, but 34D. And my waist is small. It's not from lipo. It's just because I don't eat like that. And then my arms, obviously, they're toned. And I just have boobs. And I didn't get a lift or anything. So this is the natural hang of them. This is the way they're supposed to look when they have fat in them. So
how come the surgeons don't recommend all women start doing behind the muscles? Because that would seem like to be the best option.
It depends on the way that your boobs look, right? So I know like there's standard, like when you get boobs in images or whatever, they're standard, they look a certain way, but that's not real. Just like ball sacks, they're not like perfectly symmetrical. Like some people have them that are like lopsided. Boobs are not perfectly symmetrical either. So, and the distance apart and together they are, makes a big deal. The size of their areola. Some women want to do the lollipop method. So it's just depending on like what look are you going for. If you want them to be like big,
I'm scared
porn
to
star
ask.
looking tits, where they cut the nipple, and then they put the implant in through the nipple, and then they sew it back. So they don't have a scar underneath, but their nipples, they could lose like the feeling in their nipples, which I was not trying to risk that. So,
Right.
even though I'm not breastfeeding anymore, like I'm not having any more kids, I want to be able to feel my nipples.
I understand. And I did appreciate that little dialogue from that previous stream, because I wanted to know more. Because when you think about people getting it done on the outside versus on the inside of the muscles, it's like it's best to do on the inside. But I'm glad to get educated now. And I also say, when it comes to surgery, I'm all for medicinal than recreational. And maybe I'll probably change my mind later on, or whatever the case may be. I'm going to lean towards and this is not for me to judge or whatever the case may be. That postpartum, most women that go through pregnancy go to postpartum, and it's like, I can see that being medicinal, especially giving what the doctor recommended. I can definitely say that's a medicinal reason for whatever. Because like I said, my mind could change tomorrow, but I can't find any reason to like, okay, that was wrong what she did. I haven't really dug deep into that, so I have no reason to judge you for what you did. Like I said, postpartum, body deformity, and you did what you did, and I think you got the best outcome. So who am I?
I really did. I'm really thankful that like my breasts came out the way that I pictured it in my mind, right? So when you're going into it, you're like, okay, what are my boobs gonna look like? So I was looking at all the different pictures. I'm like, oh, they're gonna look like this girl. Her befores look just identical, because she must have breastfed too. So I was like, our befores look identical, so our afters should look similar.
Whose boobs look like not perfect? Just like when you see the celebrities, obviously. Mm-hmm. When you see they get surgery or they get their boobs done, which one is like, no, that's too much? That's just no.
I think it's all based on your frame. Like, so my shoulders are wider than my bust. I feel like if I went larger and got double D's, they would look cartoonish. Right now, they look natural. Like they fit my body very well because this is the size they grew to when I was pregnant. But outside of that, if you go too big, it looks cartoonish. And you can go too small. Like if you're broad and you get these little implants that are like in the middle of your chest and they're small because you don't want to go too big, even though you didn't go too big, it still looks fake. So you have to base it on your build, your frame.